Howdy, howlers. Howdy. It's Sakotumi, also known as Cass Voigt, also half of the duo that is Victoria Fun Rock. I write horror, and I'm a witch, and I'm a graphic designer, and sometimes I combine those three things. So if you're looking to market yourself as an author, or you're looking to be a witchy or witch, you've come to the right place. Holy crap, I'm late. I'm sorry I'm late. I'm sorry I'm late. Today we are going through Year of the Witch. Going through cycles. I could use another cup of coffee myself. Poor Nicole woke up with the Pokemon theme stuck in her head, and the day is cursed. The day is cursed. Need 2 cups. Yep, sorry. Contagious. Gonna make another cup of coffee. Back with coffee cup number 2. Hi, Katarina. Meow. Oh my gosh, Pabu. Oh my gosh, Pabu. Good morning, Raven. Good. Okay, do I get another cup of coffee? Will you guys be here when I get back? Oh, I just lost track of time this morning. That's all. Yes, you will be here. Okay. I will be right back. I will be right back. I will be right back. Bum 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 dun 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 dun. Hi, kitten. Okay. The X is now on our way to North Carolina. Yesterday was a mess, but at least this much is done. I have a cat. Look at that cat. I have a cat. She has decided to get between me and the keyboard. Mwah. Mwah. Nuzzle, nuzzle, nuzzle. Nuzzle, 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 nuzzle. Yes, she is. Her name is Sugary Puffball in Tibetan. Papu Ikshu. Oh, this is still too hot to drink. I shall have to wait. So it is already 10:22. Let's see. Seasons. The season cycles. Pabu, darling, come this way. Come this way. There you go. Enjoying the changing of the seasons is one of the best parts of being alive and owning a body in this lifetime. The seasons of the earth dictate not only how we dress and celebrate, but also what we eat, what we do for work and leisure, and where we go. There are more seasons than just autumn, winter, spring, and summer. There's also a dry season, wet season, rainy season, Indian summer, shark season, and the list goes on. The last one is actually really just for all my Florida witches, but in certain locations, there will be seasons for particular animals to be especially relevant. In autumn, we experience the beginning stages of decay in the living earth. The weather gets cooler and drier, the leaves begin to fall from the trees, and the veils between the worlds skip center. This is the time when death becomes present in our life. It may seem as though death is a far-off concept, something we don't understand, but through the seasons of autumn and winter, we can begin to comprehend and familiarize ourselves with it. Death is a cycle that autumn welcomes with open arms. Autumn is this period where it's equally hot, but it's also slightly cooling down as we prepare to begin harvests. This is when the light begins to noticeably fade to dark faster, and we see the cycle of death rear its head again. We know that the energy of winter hasn't come in full force, but we are able to feel that it is right around the corner. During the autumn months, the time to grow spiritually is in its most active stage. The veil between the worlds is thin, allowing spirits to walk with us. Gods make themselves known every day, and we see the cycles of life and death and play out in nature. This time of year is especially useful for shadow work and resolving traumas. To take a quick pause here, I think it's important to recap that what shadow work is and how it can play a role when working with the seasons. I don't know that I specify this is the season for shadow work. I just do shadow work when I feel it's necessary. Shadow work is a phrase that was first used by psychologist Carl Jung to describe the parts of ourselves that we repress from our active personality. Think of these as the skeletons in our psychological closet. On the topic of shadow work, Jung writes, "Unfortunately, there can be no doubt that man is, on the whole, less good than he imagines himself or wants to be. Everyone carries a shadow, and the less it is embodied in the individual's conscious life, the blacker and denser it is. Closer to the light, the closer to the light you are, the greater your shadow, blah, blah. But it is repressed and isolated. Furthermore, it is constantly in contact with other interests, so that it is continually subjected to modifications. If inferiority is conscious, one always has a chance to correct it. Furthermore, it is constantly in contact with other interests, so that it is continually subjected to modifications. But if it is repressed and isolated from consciousness, it never gets corrected." There, I can read things in order, I swear. When we talk about shadow work in a spiritual sense, we are going back to these fundamental ideas that Jung presented about examining ourselves wholly, shining light on parts that we would rather leave in the darkness, and the bringing balance to our overall psyche. Working on our shadow and doing shadow work is a lifelong process of keeping ourselves in check, feeling the pains and joys of our humanity, and working to be a better person as we make peace with our demons. Well put. Looking at the wheel of the year on a very surface level, we see 4 major seasons. 2 are light and 2 are dark. The energy of the earth quite literally guides us in working on and healing ourselves, giving us space annually to reevaluate and reinvent ourselves. Circling back to autumn and fall, which begins the dark half, aka the shadow side of the year, autumn is a good time to begin long-term money manifestation, being that it is the sister season to spring, which is useful for short-term or quick money manifestation. What? Autumn is a good time to begin long-term money manifestation, being that this is the sister season to spring, which is useful for short-term or quick money manifestation. Think the return, the sun, and fire moving fast. That was a weird sentence. Learn some of this for character building and archetypes at script writing courses. Every hero has to have a shadow self. Yep, absolutely. Sometimes you fight it literally. That was a weird sentence. Begin sowing the seeds of long-term goals, of a long-term goal during autumn to see the sprouts and fruit of your labor in the spring and summer months. That explains quite a bit, actually. As we move into winter, we fully embody living death and sleep. Sleep is often called the little death. So is orgasm, but never mind that. And this is absolutely fitting for the season of winter. Earth is in a dormant state, and many of the gods have fallen asleep, seemingly leaving us to deal with the harsh realities of winter ourselves. These gods and goddesses will be reborn in the spring, but through the winter months it is bleak and cold without their presence to warm the skies. That's when it is the Dark Mother's reign. I guess everybody else is asleep, so. Hi, Adega. Hi, bye. These were born in the spring, but presence of warm skies. Yes, okay. Winter brings with it its own unique challenges, but it has many strengths that we can draw on. This is the time to develop personal drive and manifest a strong will into the next year. Yeah, the whole New Year's resolution action. Hi, Christina. Lovely to see you. The divine feminine is its fullest form in the winter months and is easiest to tap into during this time. The winter months are an incubation period between the death of winter and the life of spring, which is pregnant with possibility, excuse me. The seeds waiting to take root in spring can only do so once they have gone through their dormant stage. Life needs rest. Winter presents the earth an opportunity for the healing sleep in order to flourish in the spring. Spring brings with it the first rays of new life, the joy and life-giving energy of the sun. It is a time of rebirth and return to harmony after the chaos of winter. Spring brings with it as much rain and sun as it does snow and ice, depending on the climate. It is a mixed time of year where the world of death meets the world of life, light and dark, yin and yang. The sun begins to stay out longer as we approach the summer solstice, and the earth begins to quake out of its dormant state. Good morning, Penumbra. Stopping while I suck down a cup of coffee, then I am off. Hello, kitty. Meow. I don't know what her deal is. She wants things, and I don't know what she wants. Oh. It is the time when yin and yang, love and death collide, depending on the climate. Yeah, that's pretty much what she said. Yeah. Spring is light and airy and brings with it the joy of potential. Magic is also a reawakening from a long sleep of winter, and this is when we begin to see the seeds of many different types of manifestations. It is time for love magic and money magic. Indeed, Mama Ward, indeed. Just as it is a time for fertility and friendship. The blossoms and new growth budding from the earth remind us to be thankful for the friendships and family relations that have survived to see the life of the new year. Summer is the physical embodiment of life. It is a time when the sun is at its peak and the energies of fire, sexuality, and divine masculinity are at their strongest. Good morning. Have a great day. Went for nothing, console me. Yes, no kidding. Give the pats of adoration. She has to come to me for pats of adoration. All of the animals that were born through the spring months are growing just as plants are growing. Storms are brewing in the Atlantic, and the world is generally a warm and thriving place. Summer is the time to fulfill plans and manifestations that were started in the late winter and spring seasons. Through these hottest months of the year, we find the fire and the passion to continue manifesting our goals into reality. Tapping into this energy allows us to continue in our own personal cycles and live our best life before the pallor of autumn begins to set in. Summer is the time to follow through, and it is also the best time to perform baneful perform baneful spell work due to the high heat and generally insufferable humidity, storms, and high temperatures. Summer is also a great time to work on releasing our inner child and tapping into that creative energy. It is not a time to specifically work on our trauma, but to embody the fun and carefree energy of a child. We're burning stuff. Yay, fire! All the fire. And also, yes, pats of adoration. She just has to be somewhere near my person for me to give her pats of adoration. Oh. Climate cycles. Through the years, I've begun to work more heavily with the energy of the wheel of the year. Excuse me, let me try that again. Through the years, as I've begun to work more heavily with the energy of the wheel of the year, I have come to understand that climate cycles are perhaps the most influential cycle to that wheel. According to the author John Houghton, author of Global Warming, The Complete Briefing, climate is defined simply as the average weather in a particular region. Climate also describes annual variations of temperature, precipitation, wind, and other variables, per Francisco J. Borrero et al. In Glencoe, Earth Science, Geology, the Environment, and the Universe. By this definition, climate is what determines seasons for particular regions, but that is not all it does. How humans have reacted to the changing seasons in their climates is a contributing factor to the formation of many of the holidays and celebrations that circle around the wheel of the year. In my opinion, this makes climate one of the most, if not absolute most, important cycles to acknowledge. I believe that climate variability has determined not only how humans evolve, but also where and how quickly they evolved and developed technology for ease and survival. To this day, we are still dealing with climate cycle issues much in the same way that they can be felt, and much in the same way that can be felt through the echoes of history. Her wording is kind of wonky. Climate cycles are not limited to those involving human influence, but also include natural variability, the carbon cycle, the natural cycles such as El Nino, and many other factors. These cycles are something that will vary without human influence or interference, but are affected in real, tangible ways by human practices. When we talk about climate, there are a few types of cycles that occur throughout years, decades, centuries, and millennia. On the shortest end of things, we have the annual decadal climate cycles that we see regularly. For example, El Nino or La Nina is a cycle that occurs every 3 to 7 years and affects weather conditions throughout various parts of the world. El Nino is defined as the pattern of ocean surface temperature in the Pacific off the coast of South America, which has a significant influence on world climate. During El Nino, the United States typically receives a flow of warm, dry air in the northwest, which affects the fire cycle, while in the southeast we will receive heavy rainfall due to the change in wind shear and air currents. Look at a bigger picture of cycles. There are climate cycles that occur about every 200 to 1500 years. These cycles are thought to be affected by ocean circulation patterns. There is a historical evidence to back up these larger scale patterns, which we know as the medieval warm period and the Little Ice Age. The Little Ice Age occurred between AD 1400 and 1900. During this time frame, Europe was exceedingly colder than it had been during the medieval warm period, which affected not only crops but human growth as well, and as a driving factor in industrialization. Lastly, the largest. Good job, Sako. This is me practicing how to talk for the day. Yep. This is me practicing how to talk. Lastly, the largest climate cycles occur every 10,000 to 100,000 years. These cycles are thought to be initiated by Earth's change in orbit around the sun, which is known as the Milankovitch cycle. Christopher Camposano, an associate professor in the School of Human Evolution and Social Change at Arizona State University, says the Milankovitch cycle refers to Earth's natural orbit oscillation and includes three factors: eccentricity, obliquity, and precession. In the cycle theory, there are three main components that combine to affect the amount of heat that is on the Earth's surface, which consequently influence our various climate patterns. The first factor is, this is about the axial tilt and whatnot. Can we skip to astrological cycles? Is that a thing that we can do? Unless you guys are interested in talking about the science of the Earth's tilt. Yeah, I'm going to skip to astrological cycles. It's only a couple of paragraphs ahead. I think it is fitting to put astrological cycles right after climate cycles for the number of reasons. First, in terms of basic Earth science, both the moon and sun have daily physical effects on the Earth that we can see with our own eyes. The sun warms the Earth, pulling it along its path, while the moon shifts our tides. Astrological cycles are complex and abundant, yet affect our daily lives in many ways. Astrological cycles are known as synodic cycles, which are cycles that occur between one planet and other planetary interactions. Mother Earth is always in a bad mood, so because she's so tilted. Yeah. I'm honestly just listening as a kind of ASMR right now, so read whatever interests you. Okay, great. Each planet has its own specific cycle due to its orbit time and cycles around the Earth. The moon has the quickest cycle, taking 27.5 days to travel through all 12 signs, where Pluto takes 248 years to travel through these same signs. The moon has additional observable cycles and influence the Earth, such as when it goes through its phases, moving from the new moon and transitioning all the way through the full moon and back again. The Sun, Mercury, and Venus all travel the wheel in about 365 days. This means they move about 1 degree per day through the changing of the seasons. Mars takes a bit longer, about 22 months, to travel through every sign Jupiter takes about 12 years, Saturn approximately 27 years, Uranus 84 years, and Neptune 165 years. Pluto takes the longest at 248 years. In her book, Astrology for Real Life, Teresa Reed groups these planets by their apparent cycle lengths. She writes, there are different groupings. There are 3 different groupings: personal planets, social planets, and outer planets. The personal planets, the Moon, the Sun, Mercury, Venus, and Mars, move quickly through the sky and are thought to influence our personality as well as how we interact with other people. The social planets, Jupiter and Saturn, symbolize the ways that you operate in the world around you in addition to the social aspects of your life. These move through the cosmos at a slower pace, so their impact has a broader influence than the personal planets. The outer planets, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, are the slow-moving heavyweights in the cosmos. They represent what's happening in the world or society. Looking at the orbit lengths and pairing them with the planet groupings, we can make a real connection between the cycles, elements, more on this later, and the energy through the wheel of the year. Astrological signs of the year. In terms of astrology, it is common knowledge that there are 12 signs that cycle through the year. Everybody put your signs in the, because you know your sign, right? You might not know the others, but you at least know your own. So Aries is March 21st to April 19th. Taurus, which is my sign. Ooh, look at all these Leos. Leo, which is July 23rd to August 22nd. By the by, summer babies. Yay, hi fellow Leo. My sign is Taurus with Leo rising, which is probably why I'm so gregarious. I'm a Libra, and so is the ex. Our son is a Taurus. Oh, my condolences. That sounds like a mess. Bull in a china shop, as it were. Additionally, each astrological season has a planet or planets that rules over it and lends it unique flavor. So you Leos, the sun is your planet. My mama always told me not to put 2 lions in the same cage. Taurus is and Libra, by the way, are both Venus. They're both guarded over by Venus. Laid out like this, it is easier to see the link between the synodic cycles and the day-to-day astrology. Rawr. Just so you know, that's how it's showing up. Excuse me. Rawr. Burp. Jeez. Sorry about that. I went to click on a open space and it left the studio instead. These orbits are the general cycles of the planets and their respective signs, but they are not the only types of patterns that impact the Earth astrologically. There we go. Other key cycles include patterns such as retrogrades. A retrograde happens when the Earth passes or is being passed by another planet. This makes a backward movement illusion, as the planets are revolving around the sun in the same direction but at different speeds. Every planet maintains its own retrograde cycle. The quickest retrograde cycle is Mercury, which only lasts about 21 days. The longest retrograde cycle is Neptune, which lasts about 158. I'm too tired to make my own sense of humor. Make sense of my own humor, yeah. My folks are Leo and Pisces. It's like mom got hungry for fish and never let go. Oh, yeah. We got a bunch of centaurs in my house. When all good things come to an end. German philosopher Arthur Schopenhauer reminds us each day is a little life, every waking and rising a little birth, every fresh morning a little youth, every going to rest and sleep a little death. Death is the one cycle that begins and ends it all. Death is a constant companion to the cycles of life in nature and walks silently with us through all the joys of our life. The cycle of death begins before birth as we navigate through death to the light of new life. Depending on what you believe happens before and after life, this is going to shape your opinion on the beginning cycle of death. There is no witch canon as in canon, canon. Some witches are aesthetic and believe nothing happens, while atheistic, not aesthetic. Sorry about that. It split up the word and I made assumptions. There is no witch canon. Some witches are atheistic and believe nothing happens, while others believe in reincarnation, like this one, and still others believe in heaven and hell type places. I think heaven and hell are states of being. I personally believe in reincarnation, so out of death comes life. Death is a dormant state and can be observed in seeds that have no measurable life as you plant them in the ground, yet become beautiful plants and flowers after some time. Out of the darkness of death comes the light of life. Acknowledging and coming to peace with the cycles of life and death are important for our modern witch's spiritual path. We can't avoid death, and it is not as scary as it is made out to be through our limited understanding. Humans are often fearful of what we do not know, and death is something we do not know. We do not remember it after we're born. The light of day erases the knowledge of darkness that our souls knew before. However, we all did come from death, and we will all return to it. Next would be elemental magic, but we can do that another time. I kind of want to do a guided meditation if you guys are up for that. Oh. If you guys are up for that. You may not make recordings or reproduce anything from this website. Okay. How about you? Bedtime script, setting yourself free script, focus. How about focus? This doesn't seem to have a wrap up. Oh, these are affirmation. Okay. This one looks like it'll work. Ha, pizza. Just to warn you, I'll be thinking about pizza the whole time. All right, so this one is for suffering. Close your eyes and begin to focus on a great red ball in the middle of your chest. A magnetic ball that glows and slowly grows stronger. Before your eyes, it begins to pull through your body and call to it every pain, worry, sorrow, and trace of suffering. Slowly, you see them all begin to float towards it, trapped in a magnetic pull. Slowly, the ball draws the pain to it, becoming a great sphere of pain that spins and spins. Has it got it yet? Where does the pain linger? Travel through your body to that place and begin to pull on the pain together with the ball. Gently drag the pain all the way through the body and to your center. Push the pain into the red sphere that grows stronger with everything it absorbs and finally bursts into a great spectacle of fireworks. All the colors. As you sit and enjoy the spectacle, you take a mental check of every area of your body and find there is no more pain. You course through your toes, up your thighs, and all the way to the crown of your head. And as you open your eyes, perhaps you are free of suffering. My meditation right now is just to breathe in a way that doesn't make me cough. Yeah, I know, babe. As long as it doesn't have any 400 hertz, one frequencies in the background, I'm for it. I'm making homemade pizza today. Yay! I have to start the dough at 10 a.m. my time. Yay! Yay, chronic pain slowly getting better. Yay. Because I know there's a lot of chronic pain among friends here. So I came 15 minutes late, which would lead me to believe I should hang out for another 15 minutes. What do you guys think? Make it worth your time. That did seem to have a little impact on my arm pain, but oddly left some rivulets of cold in their places. Yeah, that's... I'm glad to watch as long as you were on. Yay! So every Tuesday, I intend on doing guided meditations to like build up to making a muse, like your own personal muse. And a little bit of a tulpa work and how to put together a domain. Basically going on a tour of the 4 elements. It's around here somewhere. Could have sworn I did this recently. Oh, wait. I organized things. Yep, 4 elements. And then making your muse. Would you like a grounding meditation? I can do that. No, I have a folder that says like guided meditations. Like, okay. For Raven, and for the rest of you that maybe you're still a little tingly from the fireworks, let's do a grounding thing. Are you sure? Disoriented and nauseous, so I put myself at 1 per day. It sounds like you could use some grounding though. So try to ground yourself, question mark? So far, this is okay. I'm gonna skim through it real quick and see what's up. Mental magic, air, calling down the elements, shepherding the land. I mean, you can still do it. I just won't be able to participate. Right, but it's like visualization stuff. So a couple of you have already made your domains. We can kind of hang out there for a little bit. Today, we take a walk together, you and me. Today, we go together to a place, your place. I want you to visualize with your eyes closed the happiest moment of your entire existence. Where are you? What's the weather like where you are? Is there a breeze? Is there a lot of noise or a lot of stillness where you are? Begin paying attention to even the smallest details that you can notice. Any smell or sight that stands out. Slowly begin to notice how this place is making you feel. Are you happy, excited, content? Focus on this feeling and gently wrap your arms around it like an embrace. Hold the feeling tight and feel its warmth on your cheek. Still holding on to this good feeling, continue breathing. Deep breaths through your nose and out your mouth. Slowly open your eyes and allow the feeling to morph into you so that you can take this place wherever you go. Hi, Nikki. I'm sorry you were having stomach issues. My grounding spot is under a big elm in the hook of Stone Yang. Cool. How did I get into witching? I think really my origin story starts with Wicca, but it was kind of corrupt in that the high priestess that put together the coven, the triumvirate that we had, to get back at the coven that kicked it out. So it was kind of muddy. She was like trying to initiate us against our will, which doesn't work that way. And yeah, it was just a mess. So I decided that solitary practicing was my way. Hello, Nikki. Are you and your roommate feeling better? Lindsay is feeling better. I'm kind of feeling icky though. Oh. I'm sorry. We just did a meditation where we could do the things. You don't get into witching. Witching is into you. Yeah, right. I decided to get back. So this was from 7th grade into 2002. And then I decided to go back to Buddhism. And then I think I'm going on, actually, I think this is just a little younger than 2017. I started really like doing the chaos witch thing, like joined a study group, started recording my stuff, my research in books very much like this one. And with all the research that I've been doing the last few years and like remembering my core, and we started a coven based on ill will. Yeah, she did. She's much better now. She is like living the life in a tiny home in Colorado. It totally is in me, and recognizing it was really self-actualizing. $2 p.m.? Yes, absolutely. Oh, thank you all for joining me today. I'm gonna write some. Oh, just watching me stretch. So yeah, if you can like contact me on Insta, maybe? Are you on Insta? So you can send me the link. Have a beautiful day. I will attempt to make it. We would love to see you. No, you. No, you. All right. I love you guys. I will see you in a couple of hours on Nicole Swanson's channel. Go order that pizza. Do the things.